Peace. Welcome to Spears and Mics. I'm L1. We got our co-host Zulu King Just P in the building, and our
Peace.
very special guest Dollar Bill from the Peacemakers, and also our Zulu brother. So, in part one, we were talking. You had mentioned you had came home from the army. Can you tell us about like a little bit about your experience in the army? Like what made you want to join? The U.S. Armed Forces, and how was your experience?
Well, to be honest with you, I really wanted to join the military,
Mm,
but we were doing a lot of crime. All right. Um, I had the brochure happened to been in my pocket, and my lawyer looked at the things that I had in there. So he was saying he came and told the judge, well, he's getting ready to go into the military.
mm,
Let's don't mess up this man's career. Little minor charges, da da da. They ain't catch me with nothing. I just got caught running. You know what I'm saying? So
copy.
I had to go join the military. I went and joined the army. I went and did 6 years. It was a great experience. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? My father, my uncles, all of them, they all were in the military. You know, Marines, Navy, the Air Force, they was all in there. You know, so now I got the real feel to find out why my father loved it so much. You know, so at the time, before I left to go do boot camp, I got a young lady pregnant named Shelby, all right, who later on had my daughter. So I'm in the military, I'm traveling all over the place. I'm in Frankfurt, Germany, I'm in Italy. I'm seeing the world. So now I'm trying to talk to her and go, listen, let's get married. And once you marry me, wherever I go, you come with me and bring our daughter. She didn't want to leave. She didn't want to go. So I didn't re-up. I left, came out, so I'm gonna do the best I can out here in the street. But the difference was my MOS. All right, my MOS was Charlie 13, and that's field artillery. So all I learned how to do in the military was blow stuff up. So I couldn't put it on I couldn't put it on the application. I know how to blow this up, blow that up, and I can hit a nigga 300 yards or better. That was all I could put on the application. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So, you know, my uncle and them, they looked out for me. They got me hooked up with this messenger company. I started messing with them for a little bit, making a little change, trying to be a family man. I stopped.
yeah.
I didn't go look for nobody to go b-boying, to go dancing downtown. I didn't do it. I said I gotta change my life. I got a daughter to take care of.
Right, you're
You
getting
know?
serious now.
3 years later, she gets hooked on crack because at that time, because when I
Mm,
went into the military, it was like 1984.
okay.
All right. So now when I come out, it's like 89, getting ready to be 90. She gets hooked on that bullshit. I wound up raising my daughter on my own. Well,
Mm,
not really on my own. I had my grandmother, my mom to help me out.
no
I
doubt.
started with I got I got I got with another company called Robert Bruce McLean Security Company. They put me on because I had the military experience. I was a sergeant with them. Da da da. Something happened. They laid me off. Now the place I got, this and that with my daughter, and I'm getting ready to lose this apartment. So I had to hit the streets. Like, yo, but they're like, yo, Dolly, you know we got you, nigga. Come on, we doing this, we doing that, we doing this. We got things set up. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to do 2, 3 things, make nice little money, nice piece of change of money. I was able to pay a year worth of rent. Bye. Get up off me. Felt good. Came home, hit my grandmother. Hit 5 G's, grandma. Hold that down. Boy, where you get this money? I don't want this money. Grandma, I did was right. That I lied my ass off. You know what I'm saying? Take this, grandma, so this way you make sure the house is always all right. Because you made sure I was all right. You made sure my daughter was all right. You know? Uh, if you ever heard about the robbery, Madison Square Garden, all the
Nah,
restaurants down there by the train,
nah, never heard of that one.
all right, we stuck up all the restaurants at Madison Square Garden.
Mm, mm,
All right, you had the door to go in the back where the A train started at. Come up that little ramp, that little hill once you
mm-hmm,
get off the A train, a little ramp
mm-hmm,
right there. They had a blue door back in the day. That was the door to go in back of all the manager's office in the back of
mm,
all the stores. So we robbed it.
mm.
All right. The golden rule was this: leave everybody else alone. I don't care what kind of jewelry you got on, this and that. You leave that alone. Because 9 times out of 10, when you do that, they don't remember who robbed them. Oh, because I got all, they ain't take my shit. They
Right,
take the company shit.
right.
I don't know. I think they was Chinese mixed with some black dudes and some Spanish. They don't need to, you know what I'm saying? That's how it went down, you know? But now the 2 other guys, they went back to get some managers because they was loaded. They got busted. They told soon as they got busted where we was going, where we was at, where we was supposed to meet up at, the whole 9 yards. Now, 2 of us, we get back. Me and my man Rady, we get back. Soon as we hit the Ave, one of the homeboys was like, yo, don't go up there, man. Them niggas up there waiting for y'all. It's about like 30 detective cars, this and that. And the grandmother's joined at your spot, da-da-da. They laying out there. So we bounced. We jumped on the 3 bus, went to 181st Street, got on the bus to go to Jersey. From there, I got on a plane to go to Macon, Georgia, and my man went to some family in Jersey. And 2 weeks later, they snatched him up because they show he had family in Jersey. The family told on him to get that money.
Wow.
So now I'm down in Georgia with my bag. I got 98,000. All right, with my bag. My bag
So
alone.
that's a big bag. It's a
Yes,
big
it
bag,
was. Yes, it was.
especially then.
You know what I'm saying? So now I make it to Georgia. I get to my uncle. I break it down to my uncle. I'm in your uncle. I can't lie to you. I did a robbery. I came off with this. He said, all right, this is what we're going to do. You're going to help me put my juke joint together. I can have people come, serve food, dance, make a laundromat.
Mm,
So we did all of that. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
So now I'm trying to talk to my baby mama to come down and bring my daughter. I'm
Right.
like, yo, get over there, go to my grandma, get our daughter, bring our daughter down. Because at the time, my grandma was on oxygen. She couldn't really travel, do nothing. I really had nobody go there. Nobody else wanted to go do it because they knew the cops was after me. I'm not, what? You think I'm going to go get your daughter and bring her to you? I'm a congressman. So I tried to talk to my baby mother. She didn't want to help. So 2 years later, I said, F it. I jumped in my uncle's car. I drove up here to New York. I get to Aqueduct Park. I called my man D. He came. I said, yo, go up there and tell what's her name. I need her to come here. Because they told me she had the daughter. She had her for that weekend. I said, tell her to come, bring her the daughter. So I want to see her, and we could talk. When they went to go talk to her, tell her, she called the people downtown, told them I was in Aqueduct Park. Now I'm in the park, I'm playing ball now. I'm like, oh, I'm home. Niggas like, yo, you know, I got a basketball name known as Magic. I was a street baller also back in
Oh,
the
you was
day.
nice. You was nice with the ball too.
I was nice with that. You understand what I'm saying? So here they come. We over there. We balling. We having a ball. You know what I'm saying? We drink a couple little 40s, smoking out a little weed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm back on the scene. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So now, next time I know all these SUVs and everything pull up, they get out, dude come with the bullhorn and goes, William Hightower get in the middle of the court, lay face down. Everybody like,
Mm.
who the fuck is William Hightower? Who the fuck is that? So now I had a bag with my gun, 13,000 in the bag.
Mm.
All right. My man Andre, I said, yo, Andre, yo, get my bag. Don't let them find my bag, man. Get my bag. He said, I got you. All right. They gave me 12 years, 12 and a half to 25.
Mm.
I wound up going up there with them jailhouse lawyers and this and that. I was able to give them back 6.
Mm.
So by the time I gave them back 6, I had 3.5 in.
Mm.
So now once the 4th year come, they go, hey, we're gonna let you see the board early. I'm like, what, for real? You ain't been in no trouble, this, that, and the third. We're gonna let you see the board early.
You was up
Well,
north at this point, though, right?
yeah, I was in Attica, Comstock, all that, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So now my classification dropped. Now I'm in the medium. I'm in up there by Watertown. How I forget this one? I forget the name of this place. They had pool tables in this motherfucker. Bug me
Mm.
out. I'm like, these
Mm.
niggas got pool tables in this motherfucker. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Dudes would have blankets and towels laying out underneath the sun. I'm like, nigga, that ain't shit. This ain't nothing. I know I ain't dropping me off here. This shit is like a motherfucker. They was like, this where you go.
Resort. Right.
Yeah. So I came there, niggas was chilling. Niggas like this. Yo, we almost getting ready to go home. Ain't nobody trying to have no beef with nobody. Ain't nobody trying to do nothing stupid. You know what I'm saying? I played a little basketball there, this and that. Next you know, I got to come home early on work release.
Mhm.
And I've been home ever since.
You were bumping into a lot of brothers from the Bronx up north, like when you
Oh,
was up there,
we was loaded up there.
because you knew a lot of people based on
There
just
you
being
go.
around.
I was
You know the
loaded
whole
up there.
Bronx already, right?
I never had no problems because of the peoples that I knew.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? I never had to look for no protection. I was um I was never down with nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I had people that was like this, yo, that's our brother. Y'all fuck with him, y'all fucking with us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was like that in the street, and he's showing him, nigga, I handle my own. Nigga want to step to me, step to me. I'm ready to do what needs to be done. Ain't
Right.
nobody running nowhere. Ain't no cowards here. You know what I'm saying? I know how to
Facts.
get a banger. I know how to put socks and Jack Mac in a sock and go crazy. I know how to do all of that. You understand what I'm saying, baby, bro? So,
That's a
I did
fact.
my little time. I had one little problem. That's when Tom Cross came in. You know what I'm saying? That was my big brother. I was a cross boy. We did a lot of stick ups and all that together. A lot of people like to call what's his name, Larry Davis. Well, we didn't know him as Larry Davis. We know him as DJ Larry Love.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So Cross had almost the same connection as he did with being let known, what spots to get. So I was running with Tom Cross. You know what I'm saying? Then when he got to the thing with him and Felipe, they went and took out some wives for some big dudes that had money, and the wives were mad because you got your mistress living in co-ops and you got us living in these broken down buildings in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? So they had to handle that business. They got paid with a little contract That's how we lost Tom. You know, so then we start doing our own crazy stuff, and this is how we wind up getting busted. You know what I'm saying? So if I would have stayed, if I wouldn't have listened to my baby mama, I'd have probably did a career in the military.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I really loved it. I was having fun. It was a job. It
Right.
was like a job. After 5, 6 o'clock, you do what you want. I ain't got to report back until the morning.
Right.
I got to be in formation until the morning. I had a little
Yeah.
broad off on the side. I go to her crib, chill out, eat, all that. Boom, boom, good loving. Get up in the
Whoa.
morning, drive her car to the base.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But I went through a lot. I seen a lot. And I thank God I'm still here. You know, 60,
All praises due.
you know, I'm 60 years old now. All right. I'm about to be 61.
Whoa. Wow.
You know, I always thank Silver Dollar.
Rest in
You know
peace,
what I'm saying?
Spider.
I always give my brother blessings. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Because I go like this. You are my beginning. You helped me become who I am. Because if it wasn't for you, I'd have never been able to be the vice president of HBO.
Mm. Mm. I want to ask you a question because
Yeah.
you coming up from the Peacemakers to Zulu Gestapo and just the different eras that you've experienced in the Bronx. A lot of changes and a lot of differences from you being out there in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Now you see all these young brothers in gangs, and it's different now than it was back then. What do you feel like? What do you think is the difference between back then and now with the young brothers in gangs?
The difference is simple. You couldn't come on our block and do nothing without permission. See, now you can go anywhere and do whatever you want. You ain't got to ask nobody nothing. You can let
Mm,
loose. Ain't no repercussions. See, back in our time, you couldn't do that. You had to come
mm,
ask permission. And 9 times out of 10, whoever you have beef with, we'll go get them. Bring them. No,
mm,
what's up? Y'all want to go man to man, hand to hand, knife to knife, gun to gun? However y'all want to do this, we're going to take you to a certain spot. Y'all do what y'all do.
mm,
That's the difference about then and now. These young kids is wild. They not trying to listen. They got no respect. They ain't got no real principles, and they ain't got no real
mhm.
laws. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I know a lot of big homies that they look up to me and all like that and everything. And I go like this. How you calling yourself the big homie if you can't control your set? If niggas feel
Right.
they can go do what they want, how they respecting you as the big homie?
Right.
They supposed to come to you. Yo, big homie, we got a problem. We need to handle this and that. And you supposed to give them the okay to go do what they do. They ain't supposed to just go do what they want on their own. I go, that's
Yep.
what they disrespecting you.
Right.
You don't understand that? You know what I'm saying? So that's the real from my point of view. That's
Right.
the difference I see. Because nobody could go in nobody else's Savage No Man, Savage Skulls, the Chingalings, this and that. You couldn't just roll up in there with a piece talking about you gonna shoot somebody. It wasn't going
Right.
down like that.
Right.
It wasn't gonna happen. You would get pounded out and they would take your gun.
Right.
Or some other brothers would come and be like four or five other brothers come and they got guns and go like this. I know you don't want to have a shootout with us.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it was about respect. This is the
Right.
reason why gangs were made back in there because we protected a certain part of our community because we felt, look, we're gonna protect our community and make sure nobody come in and hurt the kids. That was the whole
Mm.
9 yards. All
Right.
right, Black Spades, Chingalings, everybody. Black Falcons, or I could keep naming. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? The whole thing was we was protecting the part of the community where we lived at.
Right.
We might have
You
had
know.
different
Mm-hmm.
names, but
Mm-hmm.
we had rules and regulations,
That's a fact.
and you had to abide by them. If you
I,
didn't abide by them, you had problems. If we wanted to walk through your neighborhood, you had to know us. We had to talk to y'all so that we could walk through your neighborhood. We couldn't just walk through.
Mm.
You had to get permission. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? You don't need permission now. Now it's like, well, fuck that. Then them niggas can suck my left, my right,
Mm-hmm.
and ah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new different system going on. Like my other man, Abby, he moved down to Florida. He said, I gotta go. He said, I gotta get out of New York. He said, because these dudes, one of these young kids gonna have me kill them. They gonna talk to me like they really got their OG, man. Don't have me hurt you, OG. Hurt me? You talk about you gonna hurt me. And sometimes that puts you in a different space. Because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I had some young kids start talking some mess, this and that and the third. I'm different. I went and got my brass knuckles. I came across the street and laid both of their asses out. Niggas like, yo, Dollar, yo, OG, yo, you bugged out, you cool. Yo, OG, nah, ain't nobody, you ain't got to worry about that. Ain't nobody. I'm like, yo, I ain't worried about nothing. Because I can make a phone call. I can have this block lit. I can have 20, 30 niggas on this block right now. But I'm
Easy.
not trying to do that. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm about
Mm-hmm.
peace. But when you come out your face and try to disrespect me and tell me to suck your dick
Yeah.
and all this and stand there act like you some real tough guy, I went, oh snap, you really don't know who I am.
Well,
I
P, you
went
had
to
a
my
question
house.
for the brother
well,
or
just
a
to,
statement, P?
yeah, just to add a little context from my perspective, I was incarcerated not too long ago and came out in COVID. And what I see, and when I was incarcerated, it was in my later 30s, early 40s. And so what I see
Right.
with the young kids is that they don't the young generations don't respect, they don't look up to like the person getting money. They're not really looking up to get money niggas or like stand up street tough niggas. They're looking up to people that catch bodies and do long time in jail. They're looking up to people that like going to jail. And like the young kids,
Crash outs.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was in there, and these kids, I was in a place called Green, and it was just like
Oh,
a
I know what you're talking about. I know about Green.
right, and it's a lot of young kids, and all they wanted to do was just gang bang, and that's it. They didn't care about anything, other than being respected amongst that crowd. So they don't really have
Right.
like they look up to people that's done a lot of time. My son's my son will be 20 in the summer, and when I not even when I came home, I've been home since the like the pandemic, but maybe like 2 months ago, I had to really talk to him like, yo, that's not like a cool thing to look up to. Like when he finally asked me questions about prison, he was like, because he goes to like a public school and like all his friends think that's a cool thing, and I'm like, it's not. And then
Yeah.
when I explain
Yeah.
to him, he understands. Like it's different with these young kids. So I
No,
went
you ain't got to tell me. It's
right.
like a notch under their belt. It's
Yeah,
like getting a new notch.
and I don't understand. So it would have to take someone that's kind of in that age group that did that to kind of change that and make that not the cool thing. Because I don't really like. It's sad. Where I mean, on one hand, I understand because I'm an able-bodied single black man. It's hard to live by myself as a single black man in New York City.
Yeah.
It's hard, and some of them live better in prison than they do on the street. So, like, I don't
You
know.
ain't got to tell me.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So I pass it on to the
Yeah.
young generation and pray for the best, because it gets worse and worse every 5 to 10 years where they don't really care. They think like they're
Well,
young.
you know what?
But
You hit
yeah,
it on the nail, brother. You hit that on the nail because I got a couple young brothers that's doing time right now. I got a couple young brothers that changed their life. They're electrician now, a welder, and everything. You know, they decided to step over and say, I said, well, give the other side a chance. Have you ever gave the other side a chance? I could get you put in a program to give you a trade so that this way you can make money, you could get your worth.
Because that's all it is,
You
yo.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other brothers didn't want to listen. They like this. Nigga, jail ain't nothing, man. I said, baby, but let me explain to you about jail.
That's your heart.
When I went to jail, we paid for nothing. Everything was free. The phone calls, all that. I used to be on the phone 2, 3 in the morning talking to my girls. All right? On the jack. With phone time. From 9 to 10. All right? I told dudes, I said, wait a minute, now you gotta have a bracelet. You gotta beep, 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 beep on your phone call. I go, nigga, we didn't go through that. You got on a jacket, you talk. I'm like, so how you gonna tell me you can go in there and do it on top of your head when you gotta pay for more stuff in there than when we had to? So explain to me, how is it much easier, bruh? I think it's much rougher to do time now.
It's
You
hard.
understand what I'm saying? Because my young brothers that's in there right now, one is doing 10 years.
10.
All right. One of them, my other little man, he's doing Fed time.
And they could just send you
You know,
wherever.
these are young brothers from my block. You know what I'm saying? That I've been trying to talk to, trying to bring them into my organization, trying to help them change their life. Because I'm going like this. If you don't make a move to get off that fence, I'm going, baby, there's only 2 things to go. Either you're going to go to jail, somebody going to take you out.
Facts. I got a before we close out, I got a quick statement and then a final question for you, big bro. So
No problem.
one thing I wanted to say, right, from like my era, being Zulu for 29 years, right? In Zulu, we never really had static amongst each other from my era. You know what I'm saying? Brothers I grew up with. I understand that it's a huge organization worldwide in New York City. We got so much different energies, different faces, different boroughs, different regions. But Brooklyn, Bronx, Harlem, Queens, Long Island, all the Zulus, right? I came up with we never had static, and if we did, we would talk it out because we would put ego and pride aside. Nowadays, I noticed the brothers that's in the gangs, when they got a problem, they take it to the guns, and then they down to war within each other. That's not something the Zulus would allow. You know what I'm saying? I done been sat down with Dollar. I've been sat down with Tafiq, Lord Sharif, Bambada.
Okay.
Anytime there was an issue, they would bring the brothers down to the table and say, "Yo, y'all got to cut the bullshit. Ain't no brothers fighting other brothers." You know what I'm saying? Like no
Yeah.
Zulus is fighting other Zulus. And that was something that really separated us from many of the street organizations that were allowing brothers to infight. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't tolerated in Zulu. And I think the young gangs need to get a grip of the infighting, and the big homies need to find a way to like talk out disputes rather than go gun for gun, because it's just gonna never, why even be in the same organization if y'all fighting? It just doesn't make sense. So that was my one statement. But I wanted to ask you if you could say anything to the youth of today, right now, that's thinking about joining a gang or just going down that path of gang banging and being involved in gangs. What would you say to them right now in 2026?
I would say, my young brother, you're being loyal to the wrong people.
Mm.
You're giving your loyalty to the wrong people. You're giving your loyalty to somebody that's not going to really be there for you. They might be, we going to do our signs and all that. You live a little good in jail and all like that, but they're not taking care of your family.
Mhm.
So learn to be loyal to the real people, your family, your people that's trying to do what's right. Brothers that's talking to you about, listen, there's another way. Come over here and try this. Come and get into this program. Become a certified welder, construction. anything. A duck, we put in ducks and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Get into heating. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of different things that our young brothers can get into. But once you feel like you have a family, see, because back when Zulu started back then, it was like we were a family. We wasn't just a brother. We was a family. We took care of each other. We loved each other. We ate together. Whatever I got to eat, you ate too. If I bought a pizza, nigga, we cut that shit in half. You get some, I get some. You understand? That's how it was. That's how we were raised. These kids is not raised like that. They're not raised with love. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why they the way that they are. But like I said, my word to them is you being loyal to the wrong person.
Jewelry. That's definitely jewelry, man.
You
Yo,
understand?
I understand 100%, and I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Big brother, it has been an honor and pleasure for us to have you on
No,
here
it
and
it it, it
learn
was an
about the
honor.
peacemakers, your story. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Because
no,
these
it
are the
was an
stories
honor.
that we need to hear. You know, the young brothers need to hear this. You
Yes.
know, especially our younger Zulus that's coming up under us. We want them to know about the peacemakers, know about the original G's, know about the experiences, man, so we could learn from your experience
Right.
and walk a better route down the line. You know what I mean? Because we got to strive to continue to do better. I want the younger brothers to do better than I did. I want to do better than the previous generation so that we
Look,
could all get on the
look,
right track. You know what I'm saying?
look, that's the cause. We're supposed to always make sure our next generation come out better than us. So as leaders, we're supposed to give them more truth, more understanding, more knowledge, so that they can move forward better. You understand what I'm saying? That's our job. Always
It's a fact.
understand that L1 Just P. Always remember that. That's our job to
Yes,
help
indeed.
educate and lead our younger brothers, man. You
Yes,
understand?
indeed.
Because if we don't do it, this is why things went the way it was.
No,
Because when
that's
we made the peace treaty, this and that, everybody went off and started doing their own thing. African Bottom started Zulu Nation, and then everybody started making up all kinds of crews. You had over 400, 500 different crews running all through the street. You understand? Decepticons and this and that. And the forgot them Dominicans' name, Ball Busters and all that. You know what I'm saying? This
Yep.
is how everything started getting out of whack because the OGs had stepped away. They didn't stay there to go, hey, listen, don't be doing this. Don't be crossing the line. Don't be doing that. Don't be acting like that. Don't don't let them niggas come over here. Yo, y'all want to come over here and talk? Come and sit down. Got to talk with the leaders of this block now. But it didn't go down like that. We didn't teach. We didn't give the understanding. So since we didn't teach and didn't give the understanding, now we dealing with chaos. Now we trying to fix that chaos. And it's hard to fix it because they numb.
Mhm.
can I
You know
share?
what I'm saying? But I get everything you saying. At our
Word.
time, we didn't fight with each other. And if we had a problem, we got sit down and like I said, you got put into a room, handle your business, nigga.
Right. Right.
When you come out, y'all niggas hug, this and that, we brothers. You understand? So they don't do it like that. A lot of these young kids can't fight. That's why they go grab that gun.
That's the fact.
Hmm.
See, we grew up learning how to fight. You had to learn how to slap box, how to
Yeah,
52.
yeah,
You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? And I ever growing up,
yeah,
you
Hmm.
couldn't walk with nobody if they didn't know how to fight. You know
yeah.
how to fight. I'm not walking with you.
Right. You a liability.
Yeah, they
Right.
don't do that.
There
No,
you go.
they don't do that.
But
I just want to share something real quick.
everything y'all hit me with, I'm honored.
Appreciate
Trust
that.
me, listen. I'm
Appreciate it.
honored that y'all brought me on. Tell me tell my little part of the little history that I went through, been through. I have a lot more, but
Yeah, we bring we would love to have you back and keep
All
going.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
whenever you can,
Yeah.
let me
You
know.
and anybody else from the
Yeah,
Peacemakers, y'all welcome. You know what I'm
I got a
saying?
couple brothers from the Peacemakers that would like to
Yeah,
come in. I would
no
like to hit
doubt.
you with a real OG Kool-Aid. You know what I'm saying? It started with Funk City and everything like that with
Yeah,
Lele and all like that. I'm
let's
talking
get
about
into that.
I'm talking about the
You know
real
what I mean?
71, 72, 73 person.
No
You
doubt.
know
Yeah,
what I'm
let's
saying?
get into
Because
that
at that
soon.
time I was a young buck. I still
No
went
doubt.
behind the ears. I was still doing what they say.
Right.
Let me
You
share this
Now
understand?
we're gonna get into that.
before we
Yeah.
go. Let me share with this y'all or anybody that's watching. And this might also help if I'm dealing with the youth. I work a lot with the youth doing nonprofit work, and one thing I tell them is that like we all have a God power that we all are born with some type of God power. So the basic goal is to kind of make that power work for myself. Like one way or another, you might get a job and be the supervisor or manager for another company. That might be your God power for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
And never, you know what I'm saying? When I was in prison, there were kids in there
Yeah.
that dead broke. And it cost Rikers Island is like 90,000 for one inmate a day just to send them to court. It's like 100,000
Yeah.
100,000, and there are kids
Yeah.
that are dead broke, no commissary, and they can't even access that money that they generate for the state. They can't even touch. They got to have their own money. So even when you're at your
Yeah.
workplace in a cage, in a box, you being there generates 120,000 a day. A day, you getting
Right.
God power without even knowing. So like when you
Yeah.
like that. You know what I'm saying? You get it when you're young. You get like anybody could do anything at any age at any time, but it's really like potent when you're young. That's why you got that time on your side. So like anybody, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of use your God power for you as best as you can. You know what I mean? And work with
Mm.
it.
I got you.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
doubt, brother.
And
Yeah,
you
so we
100%,
will
and that's true. That's true.
crazy.
You understand? You ain't say nothing wrong.
word, man. So we would love to have you back on, down the line, me and you build, you got my math now. So
Yeah,
let's
just
let's
all
stay
you
in
gotta do is hit.
contact,
All you gotta
you
do is hit
know.
me, brother. I got your math
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
be texting you blessings. All right,
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate that, brother. Let's stay in contact, big bro, and we'll
no
get you
doubt.
back on here soon. With one of the brothers or whoever you want,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
let's talk
No,
the history
I'm
even
gonna get
even
you
more
another
deep.
brother. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah,
It's
no
gonna be
doubt, my
between
brother.
badass Kool-Aid or Sweet Tea. Now,
That's
Sweet
what's
Tea
up.
used to be the president when Rob was up north.
Okay,
Now our
that's what's
president
up.
had went up north. He had to handle that business. You
Yes,
know what I'm
indeed.
saying? And he
Yes,
went up
indeed.
north. You
Yes,
know,
indeed.
so
Yo, but
Peacemakers
big
got a
respect
story.
though,
All
no
right.
doubt. Yeah, peace and
I like
respect,
to
my
say
brother, for real, big bro, big respect.
No doubt.
peace and blessings to all. To
Peace. Don't
all
hang up
Zulu,
yet. All right.
to all Zulu that's still here, all Zulu that's
Listen.
gone. I got nothing but
Hmm.
blessings for all of y'all. Always gonna be my family no matter what.
Right. For real. Don't hang up yet, bro.